Hi guys, Dasha Shar here. Today I am super excited to have Halo Marques be interviewed, and let's figure out if we can add him to our live show. So let's see. Can you come join in to this conversation with me, my inspired superhuman? Let's see if we can get you on board, approve, and we are going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We did it.
Hey, how are you?
Good. I'm still not proficient in this. So
Oh, you're
cool.
good. You're good. No, you're good. You're good.
I am so excited. We're like in different places in different times, and we're here communicating together.
But we're here.
Woo!
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome.
I'm so excited right now. So, a little brief history. I met Halo Marques at the Bhakti Festival, and oh my God, since the moment we met, I was like, this dude, he's superhuman. I mean, you're telling me you sleep 1.5 hours every night. You've got these cool bracelets, and by the way, my legs stopped hurting after I put this on. Just like my mind is blown, and I'm like, should we tell people about you? Because somebody could hear the message now, a year from now, 10 years, 100 years from now, and be like, whoa, that dude just changed my life. So welcome.
Sure. Yeah, whatever you want. I was telling you I was getting my hair cut, right? So my barber's bringing me his parking pass really quick, and I'll walk upstairs. But yeah. So hello.
So tell us a little bit about who you are, Halo Marques, aka Superhuman Alien. I don't know how you would call yourself.
Alchemist, wizard, demi, all those different things. But pick something.
Yes.
I think we're all. I really think we're all gods embodying this being human thing. So that's what I really feel. So I don't mean it in a cocky way, whatever. But I think we're all gods. So God's a good thing.
Cool.
We're learning all these new things here in this plane, and it's really exciting. You know what I mean?
I know. I'm so excited. So let's just dive right into it. I personally know like a bunch of people that can't sleep through the night, and sometimes I find myself thinking, I remember having a conversation with somebody that doesn't sleep through the night, and it's you, and you're the only person I have ever met in my entire life that does an hour-and-a-half meditation every night for how many years now? Tell us how.
Okay, well, so growing up, like most humans, we go through this experience, we don't really get introduced to these like spiritual practices really, aside from, especially when I was growing up, I grew up in the 80s. So all that stuff was like much scarier and always seemed to come from a darker place than it is now, that people understand that it's energy and that it's a mindset and consciousness, all these things. So before, they just thought I had really bad ADHD, and I had done 4 sleep studies by the time I was 30 because they couldn't figure out why I just didn't sleep. Now, before Mistech, right before I got into my biotech company, I was on Red Bulls and energy drinks and all this, terrible stuff for you, because I would get tired, but I couldn't sleep. So I just used that to function as best as I could. But I also used that time to study and research and experiment and real research. A big thing that I hear people talk about is, they did their research, and when you ask them how, they say, well, I read something. And I mean, reading will give you someone else's study, but it's not your own research. So you have to get out there and do the experiment, do the life, do the living, practice trying to fail, be excited to fail, because that's how you get better. You know what I mean? And so once I got into my biotech and fixed my own human circuit board, what I noticed was I did not need this coffee anymore. And as I was doing more research on the human body and getting down to our mitochondria and our telomeres and these things at a nano level, your body doesn't really need sleep. I know you're anything but promise you, your body does not need this crap that you're programmed for, right? So, and it's weird because you can look up studies, right? You know, if you meditate a little bit here and there, even here
I
and there.
meditate, yeah, every single day.
Okay, and you have like a different level of awareness and excitement, right?
Yes, fully present, fully present.
Of course. Okay, so your body is this amazing vessel that's being run by a biological computer. So just like in the physical realm, when you have your computer, eventually it gets bogged down, it gets spaces, it gets holes, it needs to defrag. And that's what your body needs. It doesn't need sleep. Most people do not know how to get to a relaxed state consciously. So they lay there and breathe slow and wait for their body to randomly fall asleep. And if they don't have enough stress or worry or just ideas bouncing through their mind, they might relax enough to get into some REM sleep and get the rest that they need, right? But most people, that takes 3 to 4 hours. And then if you get one of those little trackers, it'll show you only get an hour or two of REM sleep. No one thinks that there's a reason for that. Like if you needed more, you would probably get more, but that's all your body needs. So with deep meditation, you can get to that exact same REM state in your brain and in your synapses that your body will shut down. And because it's intentional, right? Like we learn at Bhakti Fest, we are the divine. We celebrate that, right? So because we are that energy, when we understand and acknowledge it, we fuel it even more. So your intentional rest through meditation is just way more impacting than sleep ever will be.
So how did you, so by the age of 30, you've done all these studies, and I know there's a lot of people there that are like, I just can't sleep and I don't know what to do about it. How did you, or who told you, or where did you read the fact that you could meditate and actually relax yourself enough to be just like a person that sleeps?
So I started with the regular way people research. I went on Google, right? And if you Google meditation instead of sleep, you will find all sorts of studies, research, videos. They'll show you the actual brain waves, everything. I'm working on a book right now that says Sleep, the Lifelong Trap. And it really gets into, consider this. This is what's crazy. We can get more food, water, friends, money, job. The only thing that we have as humans is time that is finite. That's it.
Yes.
So imagine like being in this place where you're set into the program to just go with the flow from the time you're born until the time you pass on, and you never get a chance to really awaken or find out who you are, right? It's like living on an island and finding out there's an entire world out there that they say is not real, right?
Crazy.
But here's the thing. If you sleep 8 hours a day, every single day, that's 2 days a week of your life that's gone. You'll never get that time back ever. And that adds up really, really, really fast. So when I started thinking about that, that started freaking me out. And I was like, maybe this is why I don't sleep, because you don't need it. And when I embraced that, I had all this extra time to study and practice and read and learn and experiment. And again, want to fail. You know, I don't think you.
Hello? Are you with us? Okay. Sometimes.
Yeah, sorry. Okay. We're good. But I say, I think I showed you pictures at least of my new baby.
Oh yeah, you do have. How many kids do you have?
Yeah.
How many kids do you have?
I have 2.
And you put your wife to bed like a regular human, snuggle her in, and then you're like, okay, baby, looks like you're asleep. I'm gonna go do my thing.
Yeah. Look, I'm gonna show you guys something. So check this out. Since we're live, I'll show you guys something really quick. I don't usually show people this, but check this out. So my office for Mistech is the apartment right next to my house.
So your website is mistech.com, right?
.net.
.net.
Yep. So look, so down here, that's my apartment, and up here is my office. So when you come in here, you know, we've got a bunch of really fun tools and all sorts of stuff. And so I lay down with her long enough for her to fall asleep. And then I sneak back out and I come up here and I go back to work. I've been working today since about 5:30 this morning.
Wow.
And took a little break around noon. And yeah, it's a big day today. We have a lot of new stuff coming out with the company and I'm excited.
So can we get a sneak peek about what you're doing? So anybody that's out there that's like, oh my God, I've been waiting for this.
Let me see if I have it on me. Both of the things I have as pre-orders right now. But we have essentially what we're getting are these engraved water bottles, like the vacuum sealed ones that will keep your water either really hot or really cold. But we imprinted it with the frequency, so if you let it sit for 6 hours, it enhances the flavor. Yeah, that same frequency. Absolutely. Oh, you know what? I can show you something.
So this is
oh my God.
a little background for those who don't know. For everybody who's watching, this is a Schumann frequency imprinted bracelet, which I discovered through Halo because he makes these with his partners at Bhakti Festival. The moment I put that in, my leg was hurting, and I've had leg pain for many years. And the moment I put that on, that second at the festival, the pain was gone. Guess what? It's been like what, 4 or 5 months? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been a couple months. I haven't taken this thing off. Not shower, not sleep, and I'm pain free. I feel great. So there is some magic in this.
Yeah.
And I don't know
absolutely.
if it was magic from you inside of me now. Or
I mean, maybe a little bit. We we have a machine that we use for this, right? So, and we had that before. I used to have partners, and our main thing is in science, so we use like a modified MRI machine for our process. But I will tell you this as well. Again, I'm a very strong believer in energy and alchemy and metaphysics and so on. So I'm a Reiki practitioner. I believe in energy. Every product that we got once I bought the company out and made it my own, I also spend a very good amount of time like doing energy work on those things as well, to just put that extra into it for people, whether they believe in it or not. I know the intention, if nothing else, carries on, and it's a blessing to be able to like do this like every day. It's so much fun. And just meeting people like you and really, I'm telling you, like, life is really, really tough the way that you get set up. But when I met you, it was incredible because obviously, with your book, the first thing I saw was this big tattoo, and I had to come comment on it. And then, I still have the printout version. I have it. I'm going to keep that. I was just looking at it this morning. I do. I have it. It's good. And then just talking with you, like, a big thing I really teach people is alchemy. That's my radio shows, Alchemy 101. And it really is about transmuting those traumas and those issues and those hard times in your life and transmuting it into something powerful and beautiful and make it work and just make it a launch pad into the life you want. And so meeting you and like knowing you're already doing that, like, it was fantastic. It was great.
Oh my God, you just blow my mind. So what can we even like tell people to get from you, to hire you? I mean, you do everything. I mean, you've got these cool Schumann frequency bracelets that basically what they do is like align the body back into homeostasis, into the alignment, into where we're supposed to be before everything else happened to us, and not send things inside of our bodies and prana is not flowing smoothly. So we're back. So it's the bracelets. And what other products do you have that people could get from you?
Okay, so with the bracelets, because again, we can put our technology into essentially anything that's metal or mineral. Okay, so that being said, we also need the product to be within an inch of the body. So we use a lot of jewelry, right? So we've got like your style bracelet, but we have these. We have bracelets like this, but we also have, headphones that change the frequency of music. We've got the water bottles that change the liquid. And what's funny about the headphones is every single person I've shown this to, they're sold out right now. We're still on back order. Like they go like crazy, but you feel like you're in concert, like you're live with the person. And it's because
I want some.
They're incredible. They're amazing. Actually, I met this amazing guy named Prem when I was at Bhakti Fest, and he released an album the day that I met him. And I was like, dude, do you want to hear your music for the first time? And I gave him our headphones to listen to it, and he got like super emotional and everything. He's like, it sounds different than anything he heard. He actually gave us a really good testimonial, and his music was amazing. Really good guy. Like, yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. Okay, so I went and grabbed some. I went and grabbed something. We've been working on this product for almost 2.5 years. And so what it's going to be is this like wall plug, right? So this comes out and you can plug it into your wall, and the plates are going to be engraved with the Botanic solids on them. Kind of like what you see there.
Kind of. Oh, yeah.
Shapes? There you go. Sorry. Okay, so those will be engraved on here to correspond with the frequency. And then you can just plug it in and set your entire room to whatever frequency you want. Now, here's what's amazing, because
kind of like this, right? But amplified.
Oh yeah, or like this. I got you. I got you.
You're so
I got
cool.
you. I got you. I got you. You got to have your tools. You have to have your tools. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. My
Now I'm in the zone, just like you.
my head's too big. Okay, you made me say my head's too big. This doesn't. It won't work on mine. Yeah, it's good. It's good. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yes. So yeah, very similar to that. And what's I think my favorite part about it is, you know, we have our energetic community that can actually tangibly feel energy, right? And that's what I'm gonna talk about on my show tonight. So I'm really excited, and we might even try to do some energy through the video. We'll see what happens. But with this, every single person I've shown it that can't feel things feels it, and every person describes each frequency with the same type of like sensation. So where we don't have these ones up yet, I'm trying to get them up by the end of the week. But yeah, we have so many things we're working on. There's a new CBD cream we're working on. There's a potential lip balm that we might working on that has mica in it. So yeah, we have a lot of different things. I want to really get people tuned in and get back to where they should be instead of where they're forced to be, you know?
Come back.
Yeah.
Come back.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
be afraid. Don't be afraid. Come on. I got you.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh my God.
So what do you think about your stay? Like, how excited are you?
Oh my, it's just like, I feel like everything is so amazing. Like literally everything is like a movie. Everything is super vibrant. I'm just kind of going with the flow. When somebody doesn't want to work with me, I realize that the universe is like, hey, that's not a good match. Next.
Yeah.
And then it's like, wow, like people show up in my life and I'm like, can you please never leave? Wait, I'm gonna get paid for this? What?
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Like, I love it. I love it. I love it.
Wow. I'm just like, I surrender. All right. What's next? Cool. I'm down. So I need to be over there. All right. I'm gonna go over there.
Oh, that's great. No, that's all. That's how it should be. That's how it should be all the time. I love it.
How did you were you ever part of any corporate America or anything?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And so I was finished with school at a very young age, and while I was going to college, I'm really old, so a lot of people might not know who this is, but back in the day on television, like late night for people that didn't sleep, there was this guy named Don Lapre. Right? I don't know if you heard him or not, but he was like this like at-home business salesman guy and like work from home and all this stuff. Well, me and my brother applied with 30 people, and at the end of 2 weeks, we were the only 2 of 3 people left. Like crazy boiler room, high-end, insane sales, but the company was making a fortune, and we didn't know this, but we come to find out that he wasn't paying anyone out, and the company got shut down.
Oh.
So I went from making like I'd have a check for a week for like $10,000 to $15,000 for a week.
Wow.
Like insane money. But what I learned as I grew and went through all these experiences was like, unless I was spending money, I just wasn't happy. And then I found out that he wasn't like actually following through with stuff, and just really got a really rude awakening to how not moral a lot of the corporate stuff is. And I worked at a couple of different online colleges. I was at University of Phoenix for a few years. And then I took advantage of like being able to take classes. And I found out on Harvard's website, you can download like 25,000 books for free and take all these courses online.
Wow.
And because I worked at a college, you know, unfortunately, like I support anyone that's doing whatever they want that makes them happy. And I mean that by what makes them happy, not by what they're doing to make their parents happy or make their significant other happy, what they need for them that's getting fulfilled. And if college is what's needed for that, then fantastic. But otherwise, I really think you just need the information and the knowledge for yourself to be able to apply it. And so after that, I'm like, I don't care about getting any more degrees, going to school. I just want the information, and I want to experiment and experience and find out what works. And then I was doing music for quite a while. And what got me kind of into this line of work was I was going and talking at middle schools and just telling them, you know, I grew up like crazy. Like I went to 8 high schools. We like a very like amazingly full of love, but really crazy, chaotic childhood. you know, like maybe I'll write a book someday, but scary stuff.
Do it.
And it made me really, really resilient. You know what I mean? But it also made me not trust a lot of things. And once I got into where I thought I was successful by impacting people, not by making money or having a bunch of fancy stuff to show off, but just really impacting people and empowering them, I got invited to go talk at some middle schools in Phoenix, Arizona, and just fell in love with these kids and talking. So I decided I want to become a life coach. And I went to this school in Phoenix called the Southwest Institutes of Healing Arts, or SWIHA. And I was going for life coaching, and I saw this huge line down the hall for something I didn't know was called Reiki, right? And so I wasn't familiar at the time. In fact, I had been a like assistant youth pastor for a year and a half when I was like very Christian and all these things. So again, anything outside of that was really scary, right? So this guy explains to me Reiki, you know, like you go to the chiropractor and they crack your back into place and makes all your circulation better. Well, Reiki is like an energetic level of that for like your chakras and your energy body. I'm like, right. And the guy looks at me and he goes, dude, I'm not trying to be an ass like you are, but there's a reason that this line is so much longer than all the other ones. And I go, oh yeah. And so I'm waiting in this line and, oh yeah, it was bad. But that's the thing. Like, I think it's really important that we learn to be able to, again, know that we can be wrong and know that's part of learning. Like the reason I was bringing up my kid earlier was he just learned to walk, and that kid fell over thousands of times and still kept getting up, not knowing that this walking, he didn't even know what it's going to do for him. And we're forcing him to do it and he hates it. I'm faster crawling. Stop making me do it. But now he's up and he's so fast and it almost feels like a mistake because he's really quick. Like he's But so that's the thing. Like we don't have that mindset we do when we're kids, that it's okay to mess up over and over and over till we get it right. Yes. So that when that guy said that, it really impacted and humbled me a lot. So I waited in line and I'm seeing the head speaker of the place like doing Reiki in the chair on people outside if they don't want to wait to go inside and go through the whole thing. And I'm just like in really like strong disbelief, but I swear, like as I'm watching these people, I can see their body change even though they're just sitting there, and I can see like their energy almost or something. It was really weird to me watching this shift just happen, you know? And so I get in there, and because of me, and this is really almost right before I started Mistech and getting into the biotech, I was getting migraines, you know, 3 or 4 times a week because I didn't sleep, right? And so I go in there, and I'll never forget what's so funny, Dasha. This woman was about the same height as you, this little tiny lady, and she was like 80 something though, right? And she was a student there, and her name was Ayada. I'll never forget. And you know, it's very quiet, and they've got the candles and the incense, and, you know, everything is very zen. And she goes, "So what are we gonna fix on you today, sweetie?" And I go, "Wait, just like that? Like you're telling me you can fix anything?" And she was like, "Yeah, I can." And I'm like, all right, well, we'll do something easy then. I get migraines all the time. Are you telling me you can get rid of my migraines? She's like, oh, that's easy. Just go ahead and lay down on the massage table. And so still, I'm sitting here, and so I'm sitting here thinking like, there's no way this is going to work, right? So in my mind, very disbelief, but at least I'll listen, I'll participate. So I lay down, and I'm telling you, not even 5 minutes into this thing, I felt like I had like melded into the freaking massage table. Like I was done. I was done. And then I felt her like go down and grab my feet, right? And I remember my feet started getting really warm. And then after maybe 3 minutes of that, I feel someone come onto my shoulders too. And I'm like, oh, I must be really bad. She had to call someone over to help, right? And then all of a sudden from behind me, I swear, Dash, I'm telling you, all of a sudden behind me, I hear her go, okay, we're done. You can slowly open your eyes. And I open my eyes and look down, and there's nobody at my feet. I could just still feel her energy there. It was her. She walked down, and I never even felt her let go. It was insane. And I get up, and I felt like I was going to fall over. And then she was like, oh, you have to reground. Just put your feet down and just take a couple breaths. And so I went through the whole grounding thing, and I stood up. And still to this day, I've not had a migraine headache. Ever. I've barely even had a headache. Right? And so after that, like, that's my thing, because I grew up very logical, very scientific methods, so on. But how do you undo that experience? Like, how do you argue with that? Like, I physically went through that. I have like doctor things that show my migraine, show my inside, all those things. And just like that, it was gone, like nothing. And so Yeah. And so I started researching it, and then I became a Reiki master about 10 years ago. And around that time, we'll say was doing interesting research on Tesla, Nikola Tesla, and some other things. And right around that same time, I came across a company that almost had what we have now figured out.
Mm-hmm.
Right around the same time, which again, no coincidence, divine timing. If I would have learned that earlier or later, the timing would have been off.
Yeah.
Right. So like you and not having this move, like you should be so excited because you have no idea what's prepared for you, but it's going to be better than whatever you thought that was. And it always is. So no, I'm excited for you. It's great.
So somebody had this company, and then you were like, "Oh my God, this is brilliant! Now give it to me."
Yeah, well, because of what I was studying, I knew a little bit more than they did, and I knew about other frequencies and just other things, and we started working together, and then eventually, I just started my own line and got my own thing going, and now because of all the other studies I do, like metaphysics, now we're using all these other frequencies, all these other tools, all these other products, all these things to help humans get back to just being human again. I mean, it's crazy to think that when you walk outside and look at somebody, you don't know if you're going to get a smile back or not, right? You don't even know if you're going to get eye contact.
Say hello, and some people don't say hello back. It's like, hello, hi.
Right.
Here,
right
now.
Right. Yeah. Yes. And that's what's so amazing about going to like Bhakti Fest and Beloved and these things where humans want to be humans and want to appreciate each other. And like, we're these incredible things right now. And it just gets very ignored. And so I would say that would be my best advice. Like the thing that kicked my brain into like the alchemist version, whatever you see now, was I started getting overly excited about everything. Everyone has no excitement. There's no shock value anymore, right? But you get excited about like, look, you're dancing all the time. I love it. Those type of things will make life amazing.
And I'm like, yeah,
yes. It's so important. And so, yeah. And then after that, it was just like doing more research and getting into fringier stuff and like researching, paying attention to things in science fiction. Science fiction is like glimpses of all these other realities that are right around us. So we can apply a lot of those same things to our plane and they'll work the same way, whether we see it tangibly or not. Like there's people out there that can't see the color green. Right. And we're okay with that. But the idea that some of us can feel and see energy, but other people can't, people have a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting. Like everything that's within the metaphysical world has a really bad stigma on it. And I feel it's for the same reason that things like, having a money-free society has a really bad stigma on it. Using natural medicine that you can grow at home has a really bad stigma on it, right? In Portland, they have a lot of the polyamorous relationship things, and those people seem very happy and complete and everything, but that has a very big stigma on it. But all these things, when you look at people that are doing what's against the stigma, almost always are happier, healthier, and feel way more empowered. So why do any of those things? And a lot of it is
let's go.
Yes, absolutely. And so for me, that like I think it's really fun, like dressing up, right? But to me, this is just how I dress every day, because you have to embrace your archetype. Like whatever you want your world to be, that's what it will be. What's a basketball player look like? They wear a jersey every day. Oh, well, they're creating. Right. So I spent today, like, I was bored while I was working on all these other things. And this is something I've had in my mind for a while. We're going to be doing little crystal grid kits that you'll be able to buy that are pre-made.
Cool.
That you can just screw into the wall and like crystal grid your room and like energize it for like specific things. And you'll be able to feel it. But a lot of people don't know about these things or hear about them or think they're real. So we're just trying to give people tangible mysticism technology that they can use to enhance their life and get back to who they are. That's it.
Because that's the thing. When you have things that like ground you back to who you are and like away from other people's energies and the noise and just kind of push it all away, then you're like, wait a minute, like, what do I want? What do I want to do? Oh, what's gonna make me feel good? Wait, I feel good doing this right now. Okay. Yeah. It means I should just keep doing this right now because I'm happy.
Yes. But so many people don't get that. Like, I know so many people that the moment they stop doing the things they're told, they have nothing. They don't even know what they like. They've never had that chance to develop them.
There's a little freak out period when you're transitioning between the normal, because if you were fired, aka branching out on your own. You freak out because you don't have that normal schedule, but that allows you some time, get unemployment, whatever. That allows you some time to be like, wait, what do I want to do? Because time is not guaranteed. And money can come from doing good work, from providing value for people. Because people do reward you, but when they say thank you, like for when you do something good for them, they say thank you in the form of money. If that's what you ask for, if that's what you need. So it's like money is just a value that's like a thank you.
Yeah. It's all it is. It's all it is.
Hey, you transformed my life. Here's a thank you for that.
Yeah, that's it. And this other thing that's so crazy to me is like, I didn't show you my full work office at the back because it's a little upside down right now. But I generally, because I wear so much Mistech, I don't worry about the effects. But I have like 4 to 5 different screens all going at the same time all day long. That's how I study and research and work on stuff, and that works for me.
Wow.
Right? Now, I don't think that works for everybody, but it was one of those things that took a lot of practice. Right? It takes a lot of practice. Right? Like everything else, it takes lots of practice. But just turning one of those things off, because I'm so used to it, you can feel like the shift in that energy. You can feel the shift in that frequency. Like it's really, really interesting. And come to find out what it really is it's the lighting that it all puts off. Right. So we're doing a lot more research on things like blue blockers and things for lights that come off your phone and things like that. But your mitochondria, your systems and your cells, that all responds to these things around you all the time. And so with this, like that fixes your circuit board, but I never want to say that it's the end all be all. Like you still have to have good practices. You still have to have good routines. You still have to, go outside and ground and get sunlight and drink water. And, it's just all those things about caring about yourself and wanting to be optimal. And yeah, that's, that has to be more important than everything else.
So routine, I feel like routine is like huge, like routine, daily meditation practice, grounding, going outside, hugging a tree. I mean, these things all are just like, oh, delicious,
Yeah. That's a good word. Yes, it is.
So how can anybody out there listening to you either get in touch with you, or do you need any of our help? Like, let us know you're listening.
Oh yeah. No. So for any of the Mistech related stuff, and I mean, we've got a 2-hour-long documentary on there done by physicists that break down the Schumann resonance, so you can see the science of that. We have real-time biometric feedback using Kirlian photography that you can see people's biometrics actually change. So if you go to mistech.net, sorry if it's backwards,
but I love
it. Yeah. So if you go to mistech.net, that's the site. You can see all the products, explanations, all that fun stuff. And then for the radio show, if you go to artistfirst.com. Hi, baby. My wife just joined. Hi.
Hello, wifey.
If you go to artistfirst.com, Thursdays at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I have a radio show called Alchemy 101. And we just talk about a bunch of different things and lifestyle and ideas. And tonight we're launching a new segment called Maple, which Maple is an acronym for magic, alchemy, psychics, lies, and energy.
Wow.
And so once a month, we're going to do this show called Maple Monthly, where we're just going to really get into metaphysics and energy and really go down the rabbit hole.
This is a website, right?
Artistfirst.com is where you can listen to the radio broadcast. But if you add me on Facebook, I usually do like a live video stream on my Facebook page about an hour before. Artistfirst.com.
Fabulous. We'll be tuning in tonight. And now, how can we help out? Anybody that's listening in, what do you need help with? Me, you can ask me, and and anyone that's going to be hearing this. What do you need help with?
I mean, really, there's so many products we're working on all the time. The main thing I need is just feedback from everybody of what it is that you guys want. I can't say that we have a silver bullet for everything, but I can assure everyone that I work very diligently to be literally the wave of the future for anything in someone's life that's needed, whether it's information, it's a better state of being, it's better practices. And even if what I offer does not work for you, I appreciate people who are taking the time. I want people to be better humans, love each other better, for me and my company, that's really, I just need more feedback. Distributors, we've got lots more distributors that have been coming on board, and that's been amazing. That's allowed me to travel and go meet a lot more people.
So basically your focus is the technology that helps humans come back to a state of balance.
Yep. Well, so that's my internal version, but I'm also building my Jedi school right now that we're using to teach discipline and meditation. And I even, look, I'll show you guys real quick. So this is like, let's see, like, and so what we just did is we embedded like the binaural beats that go along with the frequency of the color. So you're gonna be able to use these things like this, and they have little plugs that will go on the end that you'll be able to use as like an energy tool to put over like chakra points and actually use it as a healing tool aside from just fighting with it. So that's the education piece of it, and I'm really excited. Like it's been phenomenal.
Oh my God, Halo, you are unbelievable, amazing, definitely superhuman. So you can go ahead and take off your mask.
Yeah, don't tell anybody. Don't tell anyone. I have like, oh my gosh, hold on, let me find this thing. I think I told you about it. I was gonna show you. Hold on. Give me one more second. Where did I put this thing? I just had it. Hold on.
I'm so inspired by you, honestly. Like, if I hope that we can co-create so many things together. I mean,
oh yeah,
sky's the limit.
It really is. Like, I'm telling you, like, tell me what you want to work on. I have so many people that come in with different ideas, and I'm always open, but a lot of people just don't go to the next step. But there's so many possibilities that are out there.
Guess who does go to the next step?
I know. It's awesome. So yes, I know. I love it. It's awesome. Like, I'm excited to see your finished version of your book, but I love the one I've got now. Like, it's great. It's great. So look, this is
Thank you.
What I'm not wearing the mask, what I look like.
So this is your real face.
This is my, yeah. So it took me 6 hours to remake it here in the 3D, but it felt really good wearing it for the day. It was pretty fun.
You are amazing. You are amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You too.
So much.
I love you too. We just gotta keep inspiring people. Like that's it. That's the whole goal, the whole idea. Like, as long as we're doing that, even if it's one person a week, one person a month, as long as it's one and they continue, like that's our success.
Do that little what you wanna. And by the way, I am in my real estate office. Yes, I am.
Are you really?
Yes, I am. I am screaming at the top of my lungs.
Just know when I freeze, you don't. I still see you moving and stuff. That's hilarious. My son, my 11-year-old just had his first dance ever yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. And when I picked him up, he was all dressed in his little suit and everything, and it was fun. And he dances better than me now. It's sad. Like, oh man.
Hey, we're friends now, so I expect to be tagged in all these fun things.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, if you ever come up to Portland, like, so in the Mistech HQ, we have like an extra room for people to come up here and like literally take a course in wizarding and like find out like really how to tap into the ether and go and like there's a lot of stuff that we're yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna manifest that out there for when the time is right. And
absolutely.
So it is.
Thank you. And I'm telling you, if you ever come across any events out there, like I'd love to come out there and do an event and just meet people and like. Yeah, traveling's always fun.
Where are you gonna be next? Festivals, conferences?
So it's funny. It's outside of the normal community. But have you ever heard of the car magazine Hot Import Nights?
No.
Okay, so back in my younger days, we'll say I used to race and drift cars. So so Hot Import Nights is like import car magazine with like Fast and the Furious style cars and models and all this stuff. And I did one of their car shows in Portland last year, and we had an amazing time. The owners loved the product. They stopped the car show to take me on stage and let me do a presentation. And then they even gave me a trophy. Like back when I raced, I always wanted one of their trophies, and I got one without a car. Like, amazing, right? So what is it? The 24th of this month, I'll be in Denver for the Hot Import Night show. And that'll be one day, Saturday. And then I'm trying to get out to Sydney That's one thing I do need. Anyone that knows about international travel, I'm trying to find out. The consulate hasn't gotten back to me on flying my product in to do a show in Sydney. So I'm trying to find that out.
Okay, because they're high tech.
Right. And I don't want to fly in with a backpack full of stuff and then it get hijacked, or I need to pay tariff, or I just need to know. It's fine. And then December 22nd, I'm doing another Hot Import Night show in Honolulu. So those are the next shows I'll have are all car shows, because our community stuff usually slows down around this time of year for the holidays.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure we'll be at Chunky
keep
Fest.
us posted about all of the festivals you're going to come to, because obviously I'm gonna see you at some of those, and promote however we're going to do this magic co-create.
Absolutely.
Bam, bam, bam.
Absolutely. We should make you like your bands with your little like your tattoo on them somehow. That would be dope.
Oh, that would be cool.
We should figure something. Yeah, we'll talk. We should definitely figure. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
And maybe like they get a band when they get your book or something. Like we could figure out some type of thing. That would be really cool.
That would be cool, because the message comes with something that will change your body and mind. Ha!
Yeah.
Real.
We'll figure it out. But yeah, thank you so much for having me on. Like, it was great. Thank you. It was an honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And whatever's meant to be will be, but this message is going to keep being spiraling long after we're even here. So, ta-da!
Yeah, well, thank you. I'm excited.
From my heart,
I love you too.
Thank
You're
you
so awesome.
so much. You're awesome. Let's keep this going.
Thank you, Doctor. Yes, we'll keep talking. Got you. See you.
Bye.
Namaste. Bye-bye.